Kanye West's career is in shambles, and it's been on a slippery slope for the last few years. But now, even major sponsorships are starting to pull back when it comes to partnering with the celebrity. Welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you're new here or you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that thumbs up like button below as well because that's going to help the channel. It's going to help the video get shared out there. And join the conversation. I love to hear what you guys have to say about these stories. So comment below with your thoughts and opinions. And we get right into some things. So listen, Kanye West is losing out on major endorsement deals and partnerships. You know, he's got different brand deals with Balenciaga. He's had deals with Adidas. You know, the Yeezy Boost, the shoes that he's had have gone viral. People were buying them like crazy at one point. Well, now it looks like all the things that Kanye has been doing and saying has led up to this. A lot of major brands falling back, pushing back, dropping him when it comes to their brand endorsement deals and things like that. Now, if you didn't know, Kanye has made multiple comments that a lot of people would consider anti-Semitic, racist, anti-Black, and just all around bigoted behavior. So that's what's really fired up a lot of this. Now, we all know Kanye has a reputation for saying crazy, bizarre, problematic things. He's done crazy and problematic things when it comes to his ex-wife Kim and kind of harassing and taunting her in different ways. He says things that make us go, huh? So, in all honesty, is this really a shock? I mean, to some, yes, because has he said a lot of bad things over the years? Of course, but I don't think he's ever gotten to the point to where he's starting to say things that are just vile, hate, full of hate, just bigoted remarks. And, you know, some of these brands like Adidas and Balenciaga have both distanced themselves. They've pulled back. They're saying, look, we no longer want to work with him. We don't want to be affiliated with him anymore. Adidas made a statement and they put out a statement saying that they are going to they're estimated to lose $250 million this fourth quarter, this end of the year, September through December. They're going to project to lose around 250 euros or dollars. I forgot what it was. But with him, with them dropping him, they're expecting this to happen. Now, of course, I don't think Adidas was saying, oh, we're going to lose a lot of money. I think even they said in the statement, a small amount of I don't remember what exactly the statement was. I need to pull it up for y'all so we can talk about it. But they're going to lose that much with him, with dropping him. So that shows the significant amount of money that he was bringing in. I mean, what is that, $1 billion a year that they're bringing in from his name? Now Kanye also, we know the bank, JP Morgan, Chase Banks, things like that. They also dropped him and said, look, we don't want anything else to do with you. You need to go do business elsewhere. And I didn't even know you could do that. Like, I guess you can, but I was thinking, if I get on my YouTube channel and say a lot of unproblematic shit, and I was on Kanye's level, is PNC Bank gonna be like, you can't bank with us anymore? How does that work? Hey, evidently they can. They don't even want to be. You know it's bad when your bank don't even want to be associated with you. You know what I mean? And at one point, somebody else had mentioned, you know, the George Floyd situation. He's been saying comments about, oh, George Floyd didn't really die from a knee to the neck. He was on drugs, and his family was like, yo, you need to stop spreading this misinformation. And they, I believe, filed a lawsuit against him allegedly for spreading misinformation about George Floyd and his case. Now, we all cannot forget the White Lives Matter t-shirt, right? So Kanye was in Paris Fashion Week back in September, and he was there with Candace Owens, which makes me think, was part of this a media thing? Were you trying to get attention? Because why have Candace Owens of all people? But I don't know. I guess they're just best friends now. So he posted a picture with Candace Owens, and they're both wearing a t-shirt that said White Lives Matter. So that was one thing that really kind of upset people as well, because they're like, you know, not saying that white lives don't matter, but when have white people been historically oppressed? When have white people been historically in large numbers captured, put into slavery, beaten, raped, murdered, these types of things? That's where a lot of people's stance came when it comes to the White Lives Matter t-shirt that he wore. Now, also, if you'll notice, a lot of celebrities, including his ex-family, like Kim and Chloe, they've put out tweets. They put out their little own statements saying we condemn any anti-Semitic hate speech. I think people were putting pressure on the Kardashians to say something, assumingly since they were so close and they had such close relationships together. Now, of course, Kim, Chloe, the Kardashians, they can't help what comes out of this man's mouth. It's been evident in the news in the last few months that Kim has been trying to distance herself from this man, even though he has taunted her on social media, called her names, and said different things about her and the dude she was with. Like, they can't. I understand they want to put something out because of people tweeting and putting pressure on them. But I mean, hell, who the hell's walking around thinking that the Kardashians are anti Semitic? Nobody. I guess because they're saying, well, you were affiliated with this man. Did you know he was anti Semitic? Do you condemn those kind of things, or are you for those kind of things? So I guess I could see why now that I think about it. Now, apparently, the thing that really sent these companies over the edge, really got people talking, really pissed people off, was he said something along the lines of Jews are evil and they're conspiring to rule the world. That's what Kanye said, allegedly. What? What now? That statement right there makes me start to believe that this man really is crazy. Because listen, before everybody could say Kanye's crazy, but I didn't really think he was. I just thought he had a really bizarre behavior or bizarre personality, because usually with my experience with seeing people dealing with mental health issues, it's not only what they're saying, but it's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen Kanye trying to shave his head. We haven't seen him running naked in the street. We haven't seen him, attacking anybody unless it's paparazzi, which, lots of celebrities have gone at paparazzi before, but I never seen any actions to back up him having mental illness. Yeah, you can say, oh, he wore a White Lives Matter t-shirt or he supported Trump. We can't say he has mental illness just because of what his viewpoints and beliefs are. What are his actions? Is he doing crazy things? But now I'm starting to wonder, like, is it something there? A little tick there? Because why are you saying that Jews are crazy and they're evil and trying to conspire against the world or whatever you said? Like, where do you get that from? When I look at somebody, I swear to you, like, if somebody tells me that they're Jewish or I know somebody's Jewish, I don't think nothing of it. Like, why do people have such hate towards Jewish people? I don't, it's just like, skin color, sexuality. It's so ridiculous. You have to have a lot of self-hatred in your heart, and you have to be miserable with who you are as a human being and your human existence and experience. You have to be miserable in that to go around and saying the type of things that Kanye says and does. Um, Now, some people would say, because I've seen these comments where, what happened to freedom of speech? What happened to freedom of speech? Nothing happened to freedom of speech. You still have freedom of speech. Kanye still has freedom of speech. He says what he says. He didn't go to jail for it, right? We in this country can say what we want, and we're not going to go to jail, because that's the freedom part, right? You're free to say what you want, but you're not free to say what you want without certain consequences. When Kanye signed his name on the dotted line for Adidas, when he signed his name on the dotted line for Balenciaga and all these different brands, stuff like that, you're making an obligation to them and yourself. And it probably even says in the contracts, but you're making an obligation to them and yourselves that you are going to hold yourself to a moral high standard and not make this company look bad. It's like if I go out here tomorrow and Spotify gives me a podcast deal and I go out and I'm getting DUIs and I'm getting in domestic violence situations and I'm spitting on people and I'm saying things about different groups, whether they're minorities or not, Spotify's going to say, this man is crazy. We don't want people to think that we're for that. We got to cut ties. So that's where the whole freedom of speech thing comes in. People are like, oh, freedom. You can say what you want. especially you at home or me sitting here, you at home or me sitting here as an average person, everyday normal person, we can say what we want and nothing's really going to happen by it. People might distance themselves from us. They may call us racist or whatever, because if that's what you are, it's what you are. But you're not going to go to jail for it. You're not going to lose your home. You're not going to be killed. So the freedom of speech is technically still there for him, right? He's not losing his freedom of speech. You're a public figure. You're on a platform. People are looking up to you. There's consequences to the things you say. Now, another thing, if any of you are Kanye fans, he had a documentary in the works called Ye, and that has also been axed. The filmmakers, the producers of that said, look, if you're going to be saying these type of things, if you're going to be acting this way, we don't want to document your life. We don't want to put that out there and promote it. We don't want any parts of it. And I mean, and do you blame them? If I was filming a documentary with him, now the whole documentary's been tainted because we're going to have to talk about all this anti-Semitic hateful rhetoric that you're spewing. Things, I mean, they're just not looking good for Kanye at all. They're just not looking good for him, for his own on his own merit, though. He can't blame anybody else but himself. Now, Forbes, we all know Forbes. Forbes magazine posted an article stating that Kanye is no longer a billionaire. Now, apparently he had reached billionaire status. And because you know Forbes, that's what they're famous for, is talking about net worths and glorifying the richest celebrities and whatnot. Forbes stated that Kanye is no longer a billionaire. Now, once he was making so much money with Adidas that once Adidas pulled out, that's when his net worth like dropped significantly from down to like, I think they said he's worth like $400,000 now. So he went from or 400 million. He went from $1 billion net worth to a $400 million net worth. Now, to us average Joes at home, that's still a lot of fucking money. $400,000 or $400 million is still a lot of fucking money. But when you were a billionaire, damn, like that's a huge drop. Now, I don't think that's necessarily like what's in his bank account. I think that's his net worth, his assets, everything he owns in one, you know. Honestly, at the end of it all, I feel bad for his kids. I really do, because they're so young. They probably don't understand what's going on. Why is dad acting the way dad's acting? Why are people talking about my dad this way? Why are the kids at school saying your dad's crazy? Why is your dad racist? Why don't your dad like Jewish people? You know, I really feel bad for the kids at the most. Yes, the kids are going to be fine. They've got access to everything in the world, all the money in the world, whatever. But emotionally and mentally, you're a kid. You know what's going on. You're aware of your surroundings. You know dad's not right now, right? We know that. I'm sure they can't escape it. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about this story. Are you a Kanye fan? And what do you feel about these anti-Semitic remarks that Kanye West has made? Also, do you think that Nike or Adidas and Balenciaga should be pulling out their sponsorships and their deals with Kanye? Do you agree with them in this, or do you think maybe they should work something out with him? I want to hear from you guys. Make sure you comment below and let me know. Also, subscribe. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like the video as well, because that's going to help get more subscribers, and share the video out to the YouTube community. I love you guys so much, and we'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See ya.